Hello and welcome back everyone to CWF Sunday Superstars as we get set for some tag team action here featuring City Ruler 1, as you see there on the right, the current Intercontinental Champion, and his tag team partner, the equally colossal Big Daddy VGR, former Intercontinental Champion in his own right. They are collectively known as the Statement of Intent, and obviously, like I was saying before, they are set to do battle inside the squared circle in tag team action. Yes, hello everyone, welcome back to CWF Sunday Superstars as we are firmly on the road to Crasmania 2. As you saw at the end of last week's show, the winner of the World Heavyweight Championship match and still World Heavyweight Champion, Johnny Natrium, will defend his title in the main event of Crasmania 2 against this man right here, Al, the AFH Malloy. Al is the winner of the Humble Rumble match, which earned him a first-class ticket to the main event of Crasmania 2. And now he is going to be taking on the man who actually defeated him for the Intercontinental Championship. Al was a former Intercontinental Champion, lost it to City Ruler 1 in a match that the AFH 013 was not entirely prepared for, so some could possibly say that it was a very cheap victory, but nonetheless Al Malloy lost his Intercontinental Championship to City Ruler 1, who is the current holder of the Intercontinental Championship, and has been embattled in a bit of a feud as of late with his former tag team partner when he was part of the Perthites. That'd be this man here, formerly known as the Stick Kid, formerly known as the Iron Stick, currently known as Zindictive. And of course Zindictive actually challenged City Ruler 1 for that Intercontinental Championship back at the Humble Rumble pay-per-view, coming up short, and with a win here in this tag team match with Al Malloy, definitely could be positioning himself for a match for the Intercontinental Championship come Crasmania 2, which would be a huge deal, the challenge for the championship on the grandest stage of them all, ladies and gentlemen. But as for now, we're going to be focusing on a tag team match here in our opening contest for CWF Sunday Superstars for May the 17th, 2015. And we're underway here with Big Daddy VGR and Al Malloy squaring off to begin this match. Al with a few kicks and a punch, and has Big Daddy VGR up against the ropes and is looking for a slingshot into the bottom rope there. And Al Malloy dropping the big elbow there on City Ruler 1's partner, Big Daddy VGR. Ooh, Al Malloy just gets thrown over the top rope there by Big Daddy VGR's tag team partner, City Ruler 1. And now Al Malloy with a low blow on City Ruler 1, while the referee was distracted by Big Daddy VGR. And look at that, a lovely, what was that, a reverse bulldog by the looks of it? Big Daddy VGR quickly to his feet, rakes the ice and shoves the AFH 013 to the ground and lays into him with the big elbow there. A lot of history between these two guys. Big Daddy VGR was actually awarded the Intercontinental Championship on the night of Crasmania 1, but was forced to immediately defend the title against Al Malloy, in which Al Malloy won that match and held on to it for quite some time, before losing the title to Ratchet 5, and then regaining the title, but then again losing the title to City Ruler 1, who now is the current holder of the title. And Al Malloy looking to set his eyes onto the World Heavyweight Championship. You would think that Zindictive now is definitely still feeling the effects of his feud with City Ruler 1, is going to take care of his business now in the ring, and hopefully challenge for the CWF Intercontinental Championship at Crasmania 2. Hopefully from the point of view of Zindictive. Hopefully not from the point of view of Big Daddy VGR's tag team partner, City Ruler 1. And City Ruler 1 now just getting floored by Zindictive, but quickly reverses him, goes behind, and oh, look at this, Zindictive fighting back, ducks the big clothesline attempt there, somehow lifting up City Ruler 1 and just breaking that shin right across the kneecap. And then a cheap thumb to the eye. City Ruler 1, don't let his size fool you. This guy is not above cheating to win. And now he's flung into that corner there and avoids contact there with Zindictive, and then laying a few kicks into Zindictive. Again, just leaning up against him, putting all that weight down on the neck and head of Vindictive. We must be feeling this now. As this match goes on, I don't know who I could say would favor. Obviously, you think that stamina-wise, Vindictive and the AFH would have more stamina, but size and strength-wise, as long as you have one member of Statement of Intent fresh on the outside, this match could go as long as they would like, I think. So I'd give the definite strength and stamina advantage to Statement of Intent, as long as one member is rested outside the ring for a long period of time, which is what they're currently doing now. And a lovely bulldog there by Vindictive, and elbowing to the head there. Maybe he's focusing on the head and neck area to finish off Cinderella 1 if he gets the chance to, but Cinderella 1 raking the eyes of Vindictive and kicking to the midsection, counters, and then a lovely sweep of the legs there by Vindictive. We saw Vindictive last as the Iron Stick, which was a persona that he came up with after basically shedding all ties with Cinderella 1. Now he's Vindictive, he's more serious and ready to win than ever, and that was a lovely single-handed spinebuster. Now what the hell? How is he lifting him, man? Look at the strength of Vindictive, a lovely running power slam there. Big Daddy VGR distracted in the background with Al Malloy, and Vindictive picks up the win for his team. Look at the distraught reaction of Big Daddy VGR. And now the celebration begins as Al Malloy and Vindictive celebrate a hard-fought win there. Al Malloy did well to team and do teamwork with Vindictive, but ultimately Vindictive picking up the victory there with a running power slam over the Intercontinental Champion, Cinderella 1. And Cinderella 1 still feeling the effects of that loss. We'll see where this story goes, ladies and gentlemen, but I wouldn't be too surprised at all if I saw Vindictive challenging for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 2. Shifting gears for the time being, we're going to focus on another CWF Championship, and we're going to be focusing on setting up for another match at WrestleMania 2. As Paul Patrick Bandicoot and Spike Stuff make their way to the ring, this will be an opening round contest in a tag team tournament to determine the #1 contenders for CWF World Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania 2. As such, we have 4 tag teams signed into this tournament, they being the team you see right now before you, the team these guys will be challenging, and the Shamrockers, and a yet-to-be-announced team. But as you see now, coming down to the ring is the team of Fourth Reich, and this will be a rematch from last week's episode of CWF Sunday Superstars, in which we saw Fourth Reich get the victory, looking to make back-to-back wins and progress in the tag team tournament, progress to the finals of the tag team tournament, which will be held here on CWF Sunday Superstars in a couple of weeks. But like I said before, this is a round 1 match. These are 2 of the teams featured in the tournament. The tag team tournament to determine the #1 contenders for the CWF World Tag Team Championship, as I previously stated. But this match is off to a blistering start as Spike Stuff there thwarts Fraser's early offense with a few tumbles, but Fraser manages to counter and evens the odds once again. Now, as we know, there are 3 teams announced already for the tournament. 2 of these teams are facing off right now. Next week we will see the Shamrockers in action, but they will be facing a mystery team, a team that has not yet been announced. So look forward to finding out who could possibly be the team that faces off against the Shamrockers. But we're going to focus now on this match, which is a rematch from last week's episode of CWF Sunday Superstars with a lot more on the line. Because, as you know, the greatest achievement in the tag team division is becoming the tag team champion, or tag team champions in the case of tag teams. And winning those titles on the grandest stage of them all, like I've said before about the world title and the Intercontinental title, it is a huge honor for any tag team. So it's a big deal. This match is a big deal right now. As you see there, Mr. Fraser Films is clobbering Spike Stuff in the corner, but Spike Stuff fights back with a kick of his own, and now looks to set up Fraser for a whip into the corner. And is he going to... No, it looked like he was going to tag in his partner, but look at this Paul grabbing Fraser. Nice bit of teamwork here. Just a cheap slap. And now, yes, Spike Stuff will tag in his partner. And already I'm seeing a bit more of a cohesive unit being formed here by the team of Spike Stuff and Paul Patrick Bandicoot. They are showing me that they are not just going to be working as two singles competitors, but as two people forming one unit, as you saw with a quick tag there, because no sooner has Spike Stuff tagged out, that now he's back in the ring, and he's once again facing off with Fraser, who ducked that kick there, but gets flown into the... No! Reversal, and there's a nice hip toss there, and a knee to the forehead. And now another quick tag, bringing back in his tag team partner. And now Spike Stuff's partner, Paul Patrick Bandicoot, going to the top rope. Lovely diving splash there, or diving headbutt that looked to transition into a splash. And now, ooh, a lovely jumping reverse DDT, or whatever that was. I don't know what you call that. I'll have to ask Paul Patrick Bandicoot if he has a name for that move. But look at this. At the moment, you see that Pete the player has not even got a chance to get into this match. That would be Fraser's tag team partner. He's been kept on the outside, and now, as you see here, Paul Patrick Bandicoot going to work against Fraser, but Fraser pushes back, and Fraser counters, and Paul into the ropes, and a lovely hip toss there by Fraser. Fraser feeling the effects, looks like he's going to tag out, bringing in the fresh man, Pete the player, entering the match. But into the corner, quickly, and a punch to the forehead, and then a side headlock there. Lovely, just Sambo suplex there. Looked like a bit of judo or judo toss or something of that effect. And now, back in the ring is Spike Stuff whipping into the corner. Spike Stuff looked like he was going to go for a tag there and maybe do a double team move. But Pete counters, and a lovely clothesline there as Pete does a little bit of a taunt. And that cost Pete. Pete should know not to show off, because a little quick spinning heel kick. And a nice, what would you call that, a senton? And now Pete, a DDT of his own, getting a bit of retribution for the previous assault he endured, and just going to town, putting insult to injury on Spike Stuff. You know, it's funny how quickly the tide can turn in these sort of matches, where you see early on one team gets the advantage by wearing down one opponent, but then the other opponent is fresh on the outside for the majority of the match, and can tag in, and possibly his stamina could be equal to that of the other two members of the opposing team, as they have both been tagging in and out, working on wearing down their opponent, essentially. So Pete, very fresh right now, and you could argue that Spike Stuff and Paul are not so fresh. And look at this, goes for the pin. New number one contenders? No. Maybe I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here, because obviously they have to win another match to become number one contenders. It's not just a matter of winning this match. Now Pete dragging the limp, lifeless body of Spike Stuff into the middle there. The referee goes for another cover, and beautiful save there by Paul Patrick Bandicoot, really looking after his teammate there. And Pete taunting, but that cost him, because he gets thrown over the shoulder of Spike Stuff, and Spike Stuff counters with a spinning heel kick. Now, Spike Stuff tagging in the fresh man, tagging in his partner, Paul Patrick Bandicoot, who is going to see what he can do against Pete the player. And no, tagging back in Spike Stuff. And look at this, Spike Stuff using Paul Patrick Bandicoot as a bit of a step ladder, just diving straight in to Pete the player. Now, he's going to go for the cover, and a rope break. A rookie mistake there. He should have dragged him out into the middle of the ring, and that cost him, Pete the player, with a quick DDT on Spike Stuff. Now, Pete the player, see, smart thing, moving Spike Stuff into the middle of the ring, avoiding the rope break, goes for the cover, and broken up once again by Paul Patrick Bandicoot. Really has his partner's back here. And look at this, Pete the player, distracted by Paul Patrick Bandicoot, makes a mistake, gets caught by the back in the back of the head with a spinning heel kick, goes for the cover, and he kicks out. Oh my god, that was 2 3/4 there, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, what the hell was that? I don't even know what you call that. But now, tagging back in the fresher man, taunting Pete. Pete gets up to his feet, taunting Pete again. Now, is Pete going to strike? Yes, Pete strikes first with a waist lock, countered by Paul Patrick Bandicoot. Ducks the chop, gets caught in the midsection with a kick there, ducks the attempt of a grapple, I guess, and gets caught with a few slaps, and counters and whips him into the corner of his partner. And now is going to do some double teaming? No! But counters the hip toss there by Paul Patrick Bandicoot, and now just pummeling him into the mat. Pete the player, really, I think, could have a massive standout singles career. This guy impresses me week in and week out with his technical prowess. And really, I think both members of Fourth Reich could equally do well in singles competition. And look at this, once again, if it worked once, why not do it again? Paul Patrick Bandicoot once again being used as a stepladder, and this time, not going for the immediate cover. What's this? Picture perfect Northern Light suplex into the pin. 1, 2, 3. That is it. Would you call that an upset, ladies and gentlemen? Because I certainly would. Paul Patrick Bandicoot and Spike Stuff winning this match and progressing to the next round of the #1 Contenders Tag Team Tournament. I mean, I am thoroughly impressed by that victory. You know, last week I said that these two guys still had a bit of a ways to go before gelling as a unit, but looks like I may have to eat my words, because these two are really showing what it's all about here in the tag team division, working well as a team and picking up the victory where it counts. So look to see where these guys go in the future, but now we're going to focus on a cash in the safe qualifying match as Luke RF44 gets ready to do battle in tonight's main event. Of course, I mentioned last week the cash in the safe match at Crestmania 2 will be a 4-man ladder match with a basically a briefcase hanging above the ring that contains a contract for a World Championship match at any time of the briefcase's owner's choosing, essentially. So whoever retrieves the briefcase, climbs the ladder and retrieves the briefcase, gets that contract, can cash in whenever they want, and potentially become the new CWF World Heavyweight Champion, rather. A golden opportunity for Luke RF44 here, who's come close to becoming champion before, but never has quite won the big one in his career in CWF. Another man who has never quite won the big one is a man plagued by a series of unfortunate events. Former #1 contender to the World Heavyweight Championship is Crystal Fissure. Now, Crystal Fissure has had a bit of a rocky 2014, particularly with losing in that triple threat match at the Humble Rumble pay-per-view. But prior to that, a string of losses to his former partner, Ratchet 5, has seen him really lose a lot of self-confidence and self-esteem, and I suppose Crystal Fissure is looking to turn that all around, looking to move on from the past, looking to forget about all those past unpleasantries, and focus tonight on winning this match against Luke RF44, and then qualifying for the cash in the safe match at Crestmania, then looking to retrieve the briefcase, hold onto that contract, and then cash it in whenever he wants to potentially become the World Heavyweight Champion. But he's going to have to go through Luke RF44 first, as these two duke it out, and there's a picture-perfect Fame-Master, and now looking to do some damage to that elbow there, that elbow that you can see Luke is padded up, so maybe it's a weak spot for him, I don't know. Bit of a modified camel clutch there by Crystal Fissure, and he's done with that, and there's a leg drop there to Luke RF44. I expect this one to be a fast-paced match with a lot of counters, a lot of back-and-forth action. These two are very equally matched in my opinion, so this will be a very interesting match, and worthy of being the main event here on Sunday Superstars. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. And look at this in the Tree of Woe, just stomping a mud hole in that son of a bitch, I guess, if you want to say. And Luke RF44 countering Crystal Fissure into the ropes there, but Crystal Fissure ducks out of the way, and Crystal Fissure gets reversed into the corner, and counters Luke RF44 with a modified rock bottom there. Or maybe it was a massive rock bottom that just looked more powerful than the usual one. But quick to his feet was Luke RF44, delivering that dropkick that you just saw moments ago. And now to the midsection. Looks like he might be setting him up for a tiger bomb or something like that. But gets countered into a back body drop by Crystal Fissure. And Crystal Fissure grabbing the leg and delivers his own dropkick. Man, this match is just being fought in this corner of the ring at the moment. These two guys really need to make some space. And Luke RF44 may be doing that as he hits an Inzaguri to the back of the head there, to the back of Crystal Fissure's head. And Crystal Fissure ducks the clothesline and hits himself a German suplex. And does some damage to that neck of Luke RF44. Now, over the top rope goes Luke RF44. Crystal Fissure. Is he gonna dive out to the outside? No, he thinks better of it and just decides to exit the ring normally. Now kicks to the midsection. And Luke RF44 counters, flinging Crystal Fissure into that barricade, and then delivers that headbutt there to Crystal Fissure. And now he's going to enter the ring safely does go Luke R44, hoping that maybe Crystal Fissure won't beat that count. The referees count up to 4, and Crystal Fissure makes it back in, and counters and grabs the leg of Luke R44 and does nothing. And Luke R44 capitalizes on that missed opportunity by Crystal Fissure there with that forearm blow, and now both men back to their feet, just trading blows there, and countered again, and another German suplex. But Ratchet 5 now coming to the ring with a foreign object. What? Just hits the back of Crystal Fissure to the midsection. What is going on here? Crystal Fissure down and out there on the floor, and Ratchet 5 fleeing the scene. Now back to his feet is Luke R44, looking to capitalize on this with a code breaker. And Luke R44 into the cover. 1, 2, 3. Well, you could hear the audience's disappointment as they counted that 3. I thought this match would be much more competitive and go on a lot longer than that. But looks like Ratchet 5 still with some unfinished business with Crystal Fissure, as Ratchet 5 you saw interfering there with that foreign object. And yeah, Luke R44 qualifies for the cash in the safe match at Mania 2. Look to see this developing story between Crystal Fissure and Ratchet 5, ladies and gentlemen, but until next time, I've been Nintendo Gen 64. Good night.